there, welcome to the Paint Show. I am your host, Mr. Warren Hayes. Man, I feel good and I feel loose. I feel relaxed, nice and chill today because it's a prediction show. I like doing it, and prediction shows. This is the second one I've done, and the first one that I did for that other pay-per-view, Money in the Bank. I felt really relaxed and chill and loose as opposed to doing the reviews where I feel like I have to be super relevant and pertinent. And here's it's fine. Everything's cool. I'm just, shooting the breeze. How's everybody doing? I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much for pressing play on your electronic device to allow my voice to haunt your dreams, your waking dreams, for a few minutes at least, so that we can discuss the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, and I'll give you my predictions, my very scientifically backed, scientifically backed as opposed to very good grammar kind thing. My highly scientific my highly scientific. I'll just drop the bit. How about that? It's been a busy week for me. On top, in case you're stumbling across this video purely by chance, by providence, I did my typical usual Raw and SmackDown reviews on Tuesday and Wednesday. Today is Thursday, so now we have Extreme Rules predictions because we have the pay-per-view coming up on Sunday. And I also premiered last night my very first combination 205 Live NXT review show for FightfulSelect.com. So that was exciting. A lot of stuff. It's been an exciting week of wrestling. By the way, just as a parenthesis, and I'm going to get into the predictions right here very soon. But man, last night's NXT, July 11, man, you have got to watch that. You got to take some time out of your day. I don't know what it is. Like you go to your boss and you say, "Boss, I need to take an hour to watch NXT." And your boss is like, "Why do you need an hour to watch NXT?" Boss, Undisputed Era and Mustache Mountain Man, they put on a clinic. Oh, well, if they put on a clinic, go right ahead, son. And here, what? It'll be a paid hour. Thanks, boss. And then you go and you log into the network and you watch the show. No, but it's really worth it. You have to take the time to watch it. It's an incredible piece of storytelling. Fantastic in-ring action. Match of the year candidate from your boy Warren. I should stop saying your boy Warren. It doesn't become me. It doesn't become you. It becomes no one. All right. Sip of coffee. I hope everybody's enjoying a good cup of coffee today. At some point, perhaps it's already been enjoyed. Perhaps you're looking forward to a good cup of coffee. For the hour that you're going to take to watch NXT, why not have a good cup of coffee with that? Or whatever beverage of choice. I'm not here to impose judgment upon what people should or should not drink. I, for one, I'm a big coffee drinker, and I like gourmet coffee. I like coffee that tastes stuff. Just so you know, this is something I think that as we continue to learn about each other, as we continue to share things about each other, this is something important. Like if you were ever to say, I think I'll invite Warren over for a cup of coffee, and you serve me like a cup of Folgers or Maxwell House, man, I am very likely going to poo-poo it. I'm more than likely going to lift my nose. Yeah, and you'll be like, what a goddamn snob this guy is. Yes, I'm a coffee snob. But you're forewarned at this point. So if you want to put yourself and myself in a position where I'm going to have to poo-poo your coffee when you invite me over for coffee, then go right ahead. Serve me a cup of Folgers or Taster's Choice. And this is exactly what's going to happen, and then everyone's going to feel bad. But now you've been warned. So normally this situation shouldn't happen. It's a nice gourmet coffee that you get at a local store, something that was, that's traded responsibly, that's eco-friendly, that provides good wages for the workers, because the coffee industry is make informed choices, like all choices you should make, such as choosing to listen to Warren Hayes make his Extreme Rules predictions. That is the best choice you can make all day. I'm going to run them down in reverse order as how they're presented on WWE.com. We're going to start with our Extreme Rules kickoff match. The New Day versus Sanity in a tables match. And it's, you know, it doesn't bother me all that much that there's a tables match, like an actual hardcore stip. It doesn't bother me that it as much that it's on the pre-show than on the main show. That doesn't bother me. But what bothers me is that since it's a pre-show match, it won't have the time to grow. And it won't have the time to be like a really great match. It's probably going to become really spotty very quickly. I think Sanity is going to win this one, though. I think Sanity's coming out on top. If you want to book your tag teams properly, because technically right now Sanity has lost its 2 matches it's been involved in. It lost against the Usos, which is a terrible, 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 terrible idea to have your debuting team lose on their first match. That's just, I don't understand it. That's booking 101 right there. And they lost the 10-man match. Eric Young was the guy who got pinned. So that's, they have to win here. It doesn't make sense. The New Day can take the hit. There's no stakes to this match. The New Day can take the hit. Sanity has to go over. Finn Balor versus Constable Corbin Baron. I think Finn should win. Honestly, I think between both of these guys, Finn Balor is the one who needs the win. Who needs the win most. I think Corbin is doing great with his gimmick. I think it's going to carry him a long way. I think Finn needs to win more so that we can continue to consider him as a serious contender / threat to anything, not even just a title. Well, contender to a title or a threat to another wrestler. Because his booking's been spotty, poor old Finn. So that's what I think. I think Baron Corbin should lay down, get the coup de grace. Raw Tag Team Champions Woken, Matt Hardy, and Bray Wyatt, a.k.a. the Deleters of World, versus the B Team. This is a tricky one. Had we had these, if I had made these predictions 3 weeks ago, I would have told you Deleters of Worlds. That's not even it's not even a thing. But Bray had his accident, right? He was out for a week, like off of house shows and everything. Well, not necessarily out of house shows. He's been out of competition. He's been on house shows, but apparently he wasn't doing much during these house shows. A lot of Matt covering for him. So, and on Monday he didn't do much either. You know, he hit his sister Abigail, and that was pretty much it. I don't know. It doesn't. It will depend on the severity of Bray Wyatt's injury that he sustained in the car accident. Now, I would hope that if Bray Wyatt is doing appearances and showing up in the ring, that he's not all that banged up, and that they're just keeping him on the air for now, because he can do very, very low to no impact stuff, and then while he recovers from his apparently not too significant injuries. This is what I'm hoping. I mean, this is why I'm hoping. This is what I'm hoping they're doing if they're keeping him on TV. So on that level, if Bray is really close to being ready to compete again, I would still say Hardy and Wyatt retain. But if he's going to go away for a while, if he needs more medical attention, the B team probably make it out. But my gut feeling is that if Bray Wyatt is on TV, that means he's not that significantly injured, and they're saving him. They're not making him go through huge matches in the meantime. He might not even be all that much of a factor in the Extreme Rules match here, because ultimately, with the way things have been booked, I really think a Revival versus the Leaders of Worlds feud into SummerSlam is the way to go, with what happened with the Revival recently. And we saw the Revival on Monday watching Matt kick the crap out of Bo Dallas. You know, the Revival were watching, so that maybe some foreshadowing. Maybe that's some foreshadowing to their upcoming feud. I think that what makes most sense is for the Revival to take the belts off of Wyatt and Hardy. Maybe even at SummerSlam. So yeah, based on what we know, I would say, and you know what makes most sense storyline wise, Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt retain, but I can definitely see the B team winning if Bray Wyatt needs some time off. The SmackDown Women's Championship match, Carmella versus Asuka, with James Ellsworth suspended above the ring in a shark cage. I don't know how far WWE wants to keep going with this Carmella experiment, but I don't think it's working. And this is not a knock on Carmella. I'm not on any hate train at all. But I don't think the experiment is working. One of the most significant, I found she had I I thought that on Tuesday, when she came out for the lumberjack match, Carmella, that she got no heat, 0 heat, was nothing. Again, if we're thinking logically on how things are being booked right now, it makes sense that Asuka would win the title, we'd go into SummerSlam with a good SummerSlam match that people would like to see, like Becky versus Asuka. And Becky's been on a winning streak. She's been looking really, really good. I think Asuka wins here. I think Asuka will win. She'll become champ. I think the Carmella experiment is over. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised for WWE to continue pushing Carmella down this path as well. I wouldn't be surprised. But it doesn't make sense to me. And the whole cage, I mean, in the realm of useless stips, useless match stips, shark cage matches are one of the worst. It's so tacked on and, you know, like pure gimmick. It's just, you know, between that and XYZ on a pole, to me it's the same thing. You're hanging someone above the ring for no reason, because you have to bar that person from ringside. I get it. Well, you could put them in a cage, in an actual cage. You could actually have that person be barred from ringside. You know, if you want it to be, you know, you can handcuff them to the guardrail or something. Yeah. There's all sorts of stuff you can do other than this shark cage thing. And there's one of two things that's going to happen. There's two scenarios that you can muster up here. The first one being that whoever's in the shark cage up top is going to have a foreign object that's going to be used to help their ally in the ring win. So I'm thinking the bottle of spray that was introduced on Tuesday. I think it was introduced for a reason. I think that'll come into play. The other reason, and we saw this with Enzo Amore during his shark cage match that he was involved with Big Cass versus Big Show. Enzo slipped through the bars. You remember that? because he's a small guy. So is this guy. Ellsworth is about his size. Maybe he's smaller. He'll be able to do that. I mean, this is. I don't understand the point of shark cage matches. I just don't. I I understand what they're for. I just don't understand the point of them. So yeah, so a very unconfident Asuka wins is my prediction to wrap it all up. But I wouldn't be surprised if WWE continues pushing the Carmella experiment. The Raw Women's Championship: Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax in an Extreme Rules match. The only real Extreme Rules match of the card. Look, Alexa's going to win. There's Ronda Rousey's going to be at ringside. Apparently she'll have bought a ticket. I think this has the potential to be a very entertaining match. I think it's going to get lots of heat. It's going to be a fun match. But Alexa is winning, and it doesn't take a blind man to understand what WWE is doing. And I mean, the minute that she won Money in the Bank and she cashed in, it was clear what she was doing. They're setting her versus Ronda up for the title, and Ronda is going to get her first championship off of this heel, skeevy, squirmy Alexa Bliss. This is patented. This is set in stone. So Alexa's winning. United States Championship is on the line. Jeff Hardy versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Jeff is definitely losing this match, and I'm afraid that it's not going to be as good a match that everyone hopes is expecting it to be. I feel this is going to be short. Jeff is in pain. His body can't take it. I think it's been obvious over the past few weeks on SmackDown Live. And Shinsuke's been doing fantastic work since turning heel. Like, the best work that he's done since his main roster call-up. This is something that will just add to his character. Yes, I'm absolutely for this. So, yeah. This is going to... so Shinsuke is going to win. This is pretty much a lock as well. Intercontinental Championship is on the line as Dolph Ziggler defends his IC title against Seth Rollins in a 30-minute Iron Man match. Can you say match of the night? I think Dolph retains. I think Dolph retains because I think that we're skipping ahead here a little bit, but I think that with I think there's a change. Look, it'll depend really on what's going on with Brock Lesnar's contract at this point and when he's going to fight in UFC. He's in the pool. He can USDA pool. Not USDA. What's it called again? The testing pool? Testing pool. USADA. USADA. There was a name missing. USADA. USDA is something else. So that's it. So dude is he's in the testing pool. Apparently, he'll be able to fight as soon as January. Of course, then it makes sense that Brock stays out of any kind of in-ring action in between now and then. So if the IC title remains the top title for your guy, I think you have to put it back on Seth Rollins. I really do. I think you have to put it back on Seth Rollins. Then it continues being a desirable object, right? Because Rollins is the top guy. I don't care what WWE says. Rollins is the top guy on Raw, and I think most of you agree with that sentiment. He's legitimately the top guy. He's over. He puts on extraordinary matches. He's the man. Now, if we're taking this on a storyline basis, I still think that before, look, this, if we're going pure storyline, I think Dolph retains. And this is going to be my prediction. Dolph is going to retain the Intercontinental title at Extreme Rules. Motivated Dolph is extraordinary Dolph, and we're all winners when Dolph is motivated and he's happy and he's giving it his all in the ring. It works, and these two are going to have a great match. But I think ultimately Dolph is going to retain because the rumor and innuendo is circling around Seth saying that Dean Ambrose is just about ready to come back. Imminent. His return is imminent. And I think there's money in a Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose feud, and you don't need a title for that. So if that happens, then we can get a good blood feud going. I eventually see Seth officially being entered into the Universal title picture once the Universal title starts becoming a thing again. And I think the Universal title will start becoming a thing again due to Braun Strowman. And I think this is a way for I think Braun Strowman holding the briefcase is a way for WWE to have Brock drop the title without putting him through the rigors of a match. Because Braun could just come out of nowhere and just club him and myrtle him and then pin him, but without having Lesnar take really huge bumps or risk injury or something. So storyline wise, I think it makes more sense. I think it makes more sense for Dolph to hold on to it and for Seth to transition into the Universal title picture from this point on. But I'm convinced in the meantime we're getting a Dean feud. I'm pretty sure. And then here's the other thing: is then I think Finn versus Dolph is another money pairing for the IC title. I think that's great. And then there's the eventual and inevitable split of Drew and Dolph as well. So I think Dolph is well padded as far as competition and story goes for the next few months. And I think Seth's position right now is really dependent on what's going to happen with the Universal title. But for now, storyline wise and the way the snapshot that we have right now, not knowing exactly what Lesnar's contract status is, Seth is going to lose here, but is going to move on to a feud with Dean and then get into the Universal title picture. So, good job, Dolph. SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Bludgeon Brothers versus Team Hell No. The Bludgeons are going to retain. I don't see why. Look, Glenn Jacobs Kane is going to win the mayoral candidacy in his district in Kentucky, I think. I don't remember. But he's going to be winning, right? So he can't take a full-time schedule. They're just using him right now to give Daniel Bryan something to do, a bit of a transitional thing. But I don't understand. No, it's not that I don't understand, but I don't see Team Hell No winning because Jacobs is apparently he's ahead in all the polls and really, really ahead. He's going to become mayor of this county, this town. That's it. He's not going to be on WWE programming for a while, and the election is this next weekend, something like that, or at the start of this week. Kane's not sticking around. Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens in a steel cage match. You know what? I am risking it all. I'm putting the mortgage up on this one. I think Kevin Owens is going to win. I think that, look, first of all, this has been most probably this has been the most entertaining feud on Raw for a while, and it's been dragged. You know, they've been stretching this one out for a while. I mean, Kevin and Braun have had issues for quite a few months now. Um, it's been a nice long, nice long road. Kevin is the perfect foil for Braun Strowman, and I think that Kevin is going to win by sneaking out of the ring in some fashion, or there's going to be something accidental that's going to happen. Braun is going to do a feat of strength, and it's going to work against him. Maybe he's going to pin himself under something, you know, like actually get physically pinned under something, and that'll allow Kevin to escape. There's going to be an event that is going to allow Kevin Owens to sneak out a win, for sure. And Braun is still going to look good. He's not going to. Kevin Owens is not going to pin Braun Strowman. Don't worry about that. But definitely something is going to happen here, and Kevin is going to walk out victorious. Look, with all the beatings and crap that he literally and figuratively that he took over the past couple of weeks, he's set up for a win here. He's been at the bottom of this feud the entire time. He hasn't had one moment where he stood tall over Braun. I really think he's going to sneak out a win here. And then, can you imagine Kevin Owens running around saying, I beat Braun Strowman, I beat Braun Strowman? That'd be great. That would really be great. Kevin is he's a prince. Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley. You know, I'm going to be honest. Not that I'm not honest usually with you guys. That's something I have to try and get rid of as far as language goes, and a lot of people should too. You know, I understand the intent of saying, yeah, look, I'll be honest with you, but it's also very weird when you say that to someone. It's like you're in a conversation, you're talking, then all of a sudden you say, look, I'll be honest with you, and what should I assume that there's a little stuff that you were telling me beforehand that wasn't true, or that you were lying to me? If you felt you had to preface this sentence with "I'll be honest with you," then what have you been saying beforehand? It's a bad habit. I know it's an expression, but it does sound weird, don't you think? I'll be honest with you. I'm honest with you guys all the time. All the time. Roman Reigns, Bobby Lashley. Look, basically, what I wanted to say is I'd be lying if I told you that their pull-apart brawl on Monday didn't get me a little more excited for this match. It worked. And I'm like, I really want to see these. But even before that, I wanted to see these two guys slug it out. The thing is that these are two big men who can go. They can work. That's the thing. It's not just two huge guys who slap each other with arm bars. Not the arm bars, but arm shots, clotheslines, lariats. These are guys who can actually go and have a competitive match. Action. Fast-paced. They can do this. So I'm actually looking forward to see what happens. And I'm predicting Bobby Lashley is going to win. He needs the win more than Roman. He really does. And I think it makes sense in the direction that Roman Reigns' character is in right now, where, you know, he's acting entitled and, no one deserves this universal shot more than I do, so on and so forth. I think he needs an actual foil on Raw right now because Brock is never there. And I think he needs an actual foil. And by God, the only man who's credible enough to do it right now is Lashley. And if Lashley beats him, and beats him clean, by the way, then we have a struggle for the balance of power. And we know WWE is high on Lashley. Vince likes Bobby Lashley. I think he's on the cusp of a push, a proper push. They changed his music recently. Hey, at Greatest Royal Rumble, Bobby Lashley got pyro. Not everyone got pyro. but he did. So Roman can take the hit. I think WWE is self-aware enough in regards to Roman's position with the fans to know that if Bobby wins, it's going to get he's going to get a pop. People are going to be for this. And Roman's been putting guys over recently, but I mean, doing what he did to the Revival, he didn't have to do that, but he did. I think he's going to do it with Bobby Lashley as well. I don't think this is a shoo-in for Reigns. I really, really don't. Bobby Lashley wins. And in your main event, WWE Champion AJ Styles versus Rusev. Look, as much as we would all love to celebrate Rusev Day with a WWE Championship win, I don't see Ruru winning. I think he's just a placeholder for something else. But it's a placeholder that made me very happy. AJ Styles is going to retain, for sure. He's going to win. He's going to retain. You know what I hope? You remember on Tuesday when Rusev said when he was doing commentary that he had 4 different escapes to get out of the calf crusher, right? You remember that? Well, I hope AJ tries to put it on 4 times so that we can see these 4 escapes. I'd love that. I'm a little sour that they booked Rusev as the meanie bad guy. Oh, I say nasty things, I'm so intense. Instead of just letting him be himself, that's how he got himself over in the first place. Just let him be his charming self. Man, this guy is oozing in personality. I really wish they would have booked him better in this feud because I think that AJ works best on his promos when he's confronted with a strong personality. Because AJ's fantastic in the ring, don't get me wrong, but his promos, it's been a wee bit stale. Anyway, so those are my predictions. I'm excited to see how well I'm going to do. Hopefully I'll do better than I did at Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank, I kind of screwed up a bit. It wasn't pretty. However, I did predict that Alexa was going to win Money in the Bank. I did that. A lot of people were making fun of me. Yeah, no, I'm going to give it to Alexa. Yeah. So those are my predictions, folks. What do you think? What do you feel about Extreme Rules? Do you feel good about it? Do you feel sad about it? Do you feel that it's going to be a good show, a bad show, an average show? What are you most looking forward to, etc., etc.? Why don't you leave a comment? You can leave a comment here in the YouTube section. But you know what? Better yet, head over to Twitter at Mr. Warren Hayes, right there. Hey, Mr. Warren Hayes. Head on over to the Twitter. Let's chat about this. I like talking about wrestling. Talking about wrestling is fun. And I like talking about coffee, too. Good coffee. A good cup of coffee will do it every time. And I mean, no disrespect, by the way, coming back to the coffee thing I was talking about earlier at the top of the show, no disrespect if you like, dehydrated, freeze-dried flakes of coffee and hot water. That's fine. Everyone's entitled to their own tastes and stuff. But don't you dare serve that shit to me. Oh, okay, so we're going to stop this right now before things really get awkward and weird. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to check out my Raw and SmackDown reviews. I do them every week. They end up on the YouTube thing on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, so check that out. My NXT and 205 Live reviews for FightfulSelect.com. The first episode is free. It's up as a free preview. After that, you have to subscribe to FightfulSelect.com. So follow, go see, visit FightfulSelect.com and see what kind of goodies you can get for being a member. It's a fantastic service. You should do that. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mr. Warren Hayes. Thank you very much for being here, and I'll see you next time.